My name is Deacon Michael Parker. I am the Area Director of Vagabond Missions in Baton Rouge. Vagabond Missions is an apostolate that is geared to bring the inner city teens to come to know Jesus Christ by preaching the gospel, by having a full relationship with them so that they can come to know Jesus. Vagabond Mission started because they had this founder who was doing youth ministry in New York, and it was in a very gritty part of town in the inner city there. And what would happen was that he had a bunch of youth who would come to his group, to his youth ministry nights that he would provide for them. But then he had a core team that was along with him, to where many of the teenagers that were coming along with him, they started to get along with him. But he also had a problematic teen, a teen who would come to mass and he wouldn't dress, appropriately. He would even get to the point to where he would be very, very disruptive in the ministries that they would have in their programs. He would even just do so many things that would pretty much say, you know what, this is probably not why a person signed up to be in youth ministry. But yet and behold, the founder was like, no, these are my kids. But it wasn't until one night that the core team actually came to him and they said, you know what, we're tired of this kid. We don't want to deal with him anymore. So either you kick him out of this youth ministry program or the core team, we're leaving. And the founder looked at them all and he said, well, that is an easy statement. I choose the kid. And because he took that chance on that young man became not only a good, devout, faithful Catholic, but he became a director of evangelization for the diocese that he was at. And now he's truly one of the holiest men I've ever met. And that's because the founder took a chance and said, no, not because of what he has done and what he is being known for based off of how everybody else is perceiving him, but because he is a child of God, that I want to go out and continue to minister to him, to walk with him so that he can come to know Jesus Christ. So Hope plays in Vagabond Missions here in Baton Rouge because this is a chance for our church to leave outside of the walls and to go and bring the gospel to those inner city teens. As I grew up in North Baton Rouge, one of the things was that I would experience was that my friends who I would associate with, they wouldn't understand why I would go to church every week. But thanks be to God, my parents kept me in church. But one of the things that was hopeful that I wanted to have was that people would leave the walls of our church and come into our neighborhoods and invite people in. What is happening now is because of the missionaries here with Vagabond, is that we're stepping outside of the walls of the church. We are going into these neighborhoods. We're seeing these kids who are full of doubt, fear, anxiety, and pretty much they're lying in a puddle of despair because they just don't see where God is and all of that. And the missionaries' relationship with each and every teen is inspiring love that's fueled by Christ, and also it's just giving them hope in order for them to come to know the fullness of God's love. So there was a young man who actually came up to me and he said, Deacon, I'm just so happy that you are all here, because he was really at a low point in his life. He didn't have a belief in God. He didn't really have anyone who was looking out for him. He was scared to ask for things. And he just said, at that moment when y'all started coming to our school, when y'all were on the street corners passing out Gatorades and potato chips, and y'all just genuinely cared, it gave him hope. It gave him some type of reassurance, and then for him to start thinking better of himself. And now he's one of the first people that's always asking, when are we having our next programming, or when are we doing the next event, because he wants to be a part of that. So it just continues to inspire within him that there are good things happening here in our church, in our parish, and it's through Vagabond Missions. This is evangelization. This is like what our bishop, Michael Duke, he talks about all the time, of going out. And it's something that's just, it gives me so much excitement because of us knowing the fullness of grace that we receive in our one holy Catholic Apostolic Church, is that now we are able to literally invest into the community so that they can see that every Catholic church around the area is a place of their home. It's a place that they are invited, that they belong, that they are supposed to be there, and there's a place for them. So this mission, I would always say for anyone who's listening, to just support it, to pray for us, pray for our missionaries, as it is spiritual warfare that we go through, but also that this is a very, very, very important mission for our parish in order for us to continue to build up God's kingdom.